Dragons Rising Season 4 has the potential to be the best season in Dragons Rising yet, and there's already a ton of info leaks and behind the scenes details hinting at just how massive this season could be. Some of these leaks come from trusted leakers, some from early drafts, and some from internal production notes that slipped out. Altogether, it shows a picture of a season that could completely shift the direction of Dragons Rising so far. So let's not waste any time, let's dive straight into everything we know so far. Alright, so let's jump into some crazy Dragons Rising Season 4 info. A surprising amount of stuff leaked from a Discord server. And while of course, we should not fully trust these leaks, there's actually a lot here that lines up with previous hints from the writers and early drafts. First, the entire Dragons Rising plot every season was allegedly leaked all the way back in 2022. That includes outlines for season 1, 2, 3 and 4. And maybe more. If that's true, it means a lot of major plot points we're seeing now were planned years ago, and that's honestly wild. And one of the biggest things from those leaks is about Lord Rez. He might actually get a redemption arc in season 4. Now it's unclear if it was kept or scrapped, because apparently there were multiple rewrites, but the idea was that Rez gets betrayed by his master or forced into a situation that pushed him to recognize everything. If that ends up happening, it could be one of the most unexpected moments in Dragons Rising. Wildfire's story is also set to wrap around with her becoming a dragon matriarch, basically a leader or guardian figure for dragons, and honestly, that fits her character perfectly. Her whole arc has been about connection, power, and understanding dragons on a deeper level. That could mean that she sends dragons to help her and a ninja on missions. Season 4 also includes a huge twist involving the source dragons, and it's supposed to be tied directly to the cycle, something the show has been hinting at since season 1. This could be a massive lore reveal for the entire Ninjago universe. Fun fact, in early drafts, who was actually going to be Rez's master. That was changed, but it shows how many rewrites season 4 went through. There was also cut Hands of Time content for the Time Twins after Golden Hour, and even scrapped Chima cameos in the Crossroads, so season 4 originally had even bigger crossover potential. Now Zane fans will be happy. He's going back to his older, more classic personality. A lot of Zane fans complained he became too one-note or overly robotic, so this is a really good change. Confirmed returning characters include Eriko, Repton, Euphrasia, Creo, Rontu and all of the Finders. Kai, Nia and Jay apparently face the least villains this season, but Kai and Jay have a really solid dynamic throughout the story, which could give us some amazing character moments. Rez barely appears in Season 4 Part 1, which explains why he's not in early set waves, but the final scene of Part 1 sets up a major arc for Part 2. That means Part 2 could be Rez focused in a really big way. Then there's Thunderfang, who was added extremely late during production, because the writers literally couldn't figure out a way for the ninja to defeat the Forbidden Five, so Thunderfang was created purely to solve that problem, which actually makes him way more important than fans realize. And again, the Source Dragons twist tied directly into the cycles. This could be the central mystery of the entire season. Now beyond all of that, there's some even deeper info what season 4 will actually focus on. The Forbidden Five were originally going to be way more powerful, almost too powerful, which is why Thunderfang had to be created as a solution. We're going to get some really big character focus moments. Kai and Jay's dynamic is going to be one of the highlights of the entire season, especially because they're not fighting the main villains, but still play crucial roles in the story. Rez, even though he barely appears early on, gets set up for a game-changing storyline in Part 2, and then the Source Dragon twist. That might generally be the biggest reveal in all of Dragons Rising so far. Basically, Season 4 is shaping up to tie a lot of loose ends together, from early Dragons Rising mysteries all the way back to classic Ninjago lore, while dropping some huge surprises that fans absolutely won't expect. Even if half of this information is true, we're looking at one of the most intense and lore-heavy seasons we've ever gotten. Now, on top of everything else, the latest leaks include the full cast for Season 4 Part 1, allegedly from a dubbing studio. It shows which characters appear, how many episodes they're in, and even the number of voice lines some of them have. The biggest reveal yet, Empress Beatrix is officially back. This is huge. She hasn't appeared on screen since Season 1, and a lot of fans assumed her storyline was done, but nope. Not only is she returning, she's showing up in 3 full episodes, including the Part 1 final, and she has 103 voice lines. That's an insane amount for a returning villain, especially one who disappeared so early in the series. That alone pretty much confirms she's not just popping in for a cameo, she's going to be central to the storyline. And what makes this even crazier is how she fits into the bigger picture of Season 4. According to the leaks, Beatrix might actually be teaming up with both the elemental monsters and the loyalists. The idea of her controlling or commanding elemental monsters is wild, because it instantly connects her return to the bigger cosmic storyline, with the Forbidden 5 Thunderfang and the Source Dragon twist. Some of the loyalists also show up in a ton of episodes, way more than we first expected, and that opens up really interesting stories. We might be looking at a crystallized Harumi situation, meaning one of the loyalists could actually be Beatrix herself, either disguised, renamed, or hiding under a completely new identity. Dragons Rising loves doing reveals like this, so it fits perfectly with the show's style of storytelling. Then there's Dr. Leroux. She's also back, appearing in multiple episodes alongside Beatrix. That alone connects a ton of loose threads from Season 1, and with the newest Season 4 book confirming that the battle returns to Imperium, it strengthens the idea that Beatrix's influences never left. It was just hiding behind the scenes. The loyalists are very likely just Imperium citizens or soldiers who remain devoted to her after her fall, which explains why they suddenly have such a big presence again. When you combine Beatrix's loyals army with the elemental monsters, you suddenly have a villain force that feels way more organized, way more powerful, and honestly way more dangerous than anything the ninja faced in Season 3. So if all of this is true, if Beatrix is returning with a massive army, disguised loyalists, elemental creatures, and a storyline reach back into Imperium, then her comeback is shaping up to be one of the biggest and most dramatic returns we've ever seen in Dragons Rising. And the fact that this is only Part 1 means she's likely setting up major events that will shape up the entire season and carry into Part 2. This isn't just a return. This is a villain takeover setup. Beatrix might end up being the key piece that pushes Season 4 into being the most intense Dragons Rising season yet. This season is shaping up to be absolutely massive, with huge twists, returning fan favorite characters, major storyline reveals, and some intense villain moments that could completely change the direction of Dragons Rising. If you enjoyed this video and want more Ninjago content, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching.